What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY Quickie, we're going to be doing something new-ish from Star Wars Black Series. And it's the DX, or Deluxe version of Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi. So, of course, we had the Archive series Boba Fett from a little while ago. Like, I don't know, a year ago. And I assume that 90% of that will be this. But, of course, he comes with slightly different stuff. And it comes with effect parts and things like that, so we'll see. Obviously, there'll be a comparison with that. So obviously, we got the nice box art, you know, Return of the Jedi style. It's pretty neat. I am sad that I missed out on the Heroes of Endor set. I did cancel it because they were taking so long to get it out. And, like, you can get the individual characters. You can get Luke, Leia, Han in store, pretty much. And then the Ewok was the only other one I wanted. So Boba Fett, with his customized Mandalorian armor, deadly weaponry, and silent demeanor, Boba Fett was one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy. This is true. And he's number 6 in the line, as it were. Got the Disney logo on there. Just stupid. It's been a while since I've done quickies. Actually, I started some quickies even before I had COVID. So those I need to get to. Alright, so he's in a big old clamshell-y thing here. So, I should keep that. That is a very good size, unbroken piece of thing. I guess he's got a rifle that I guess gets cut in half by Luke. The weathering looks like ass, if I'm honest. Oh, that's his harpoon. I was trying to figure out what that was. Or not, grappling hook. Okay, so just in here, he looks a bit more detailed and definitely more scuffed up and stuff than the previous version. Of course, having the harpoon thingy on his wrist does mean he's got stuff going on there. We have the missile. It looks like his backpack is incredibly well detailed. His jetpack and such. I assume that we're going to get a Mandalorian version. As in, the Mandalorian. Mandalorian. Okay. So, missile plugs in top of thing. Look at this. Look at this ridiculous backpack. I don't think the previous one came in different colors. This one do. Let's see here. We got flame effects, right and left. That looks like it's coming out of a flamethrower thing. I think he had a flamethrower on his arm. Trying to get the grappling hook out so I can get him out. Is it actually wound? Because that would be interesting. And one thing I'm happy about is I got rid of the stupid cloth cape and gave him a proper plastic one. Because it works out better. It looks better. Okay, so this guy is broken. Right, it's just meant to do that. So he's got this, which I guess he used to wrap up Luke's arms. Where's its elbow function? There we go. Okay. So he shoots that, but this can come unclipped from his wrist. So, no offense, this is the dumbest accessory. I get that they're trying to just give him all of the literal toys that he had. Flamethrower. Oh, yeah, that's right. Flamethrower is on the wrist. Here. So, turn the wrist over. Like that. Flame effect. Can't tell exactly. I think this way. Yeah. It's actually molded to the shape of the weapon. So, that's pretty cool in its own right. Weathering is actually done pretty nice. For the most part. Like, they got the chipping, but he's not dirty. That's the most annoying thing. They put the weather, or they put the battle damage, but they don't do like real weathering. The bag is kind of weathered, but nothing else really is. And he is really dinged up, by the way. Rangefinder does fold down. Always important. Okay, other things. In the very literal sense, other things here. Damn it, I keep dropping stuff. Pops out and just goes to the floor. Okay. Gotta use my toes. So, jetpack needs to be jittery. So, they actually give you flame effect parts. And, oh yeah, thrusters can point. So, that's kind of cool. I say kinda, because in a lot of ways it's really dumb. Alright, so I'm gonna plug that onto his back and hopefully it secures well. It does. I'll tell you what, he is super colorful. Definitely got that going for him. He's like, so like they need to do this for Din Djarin as well. Okay, hold on. I can utilize all of our rotational joints here and our elbows. So one thing that Hasbro still hasn't managed to do is give us anything but gun holding hands for figures like this. Okay, so we got thigh rotation and below the knee rotation on the legs. Didn't realize that. That's cool. Alright, so he has his like pulse rifle, I guess, and it's like copper weathered for some reason. I don't know. I just realized I'm doing a full out the box thing here, not a reaction. So let me cut all that. Actually, you know what? No. I'll show this stuff up close, but I'm going to show it in comparison to the other one. I'm not going to... that's mostly what it's going to be. There's going to be a comparison to the archive version. So I will take a closer look at this stuff, but basically it's like, you know, it's probably mostly the same figure. And I mean, you have a gun that comes apart. And like I said, I believe that's because Luke cuts it in half at some point. Ah. So, same gun, but split in half. And like really like acid etched edges, which is kind of funny. So it's like it looks like he was fighting an alien and some acid got on it. So okay, that's enough for initial reactions. So I can flip it around and look at the weird dinky stuff up close and compare to the previous Boba Fett. It's been so long I kind of forgot how to do this. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at the Boba Fett, but up close-ish. Because now that I pulled out the Archive Series one, there's definitely some differences here that I did not notice before. Including the fact that his gun is significantly different. Okay, so just to show them off, here's the flame effects and stuff. By the way, I have a dog injury. Guess sharp little teeth. Basically utilizing the same kind of stuff they've been doing for X-Men and Transformers, where they've got just things like here. Although, interesting point, I wonder if these would work for potential, like, bloosh points. Maybe too small. Like, I know it's not the ones that would go over a thing, but they might be, like, one that could go in. And even though I did it on camera, more or less, they go into here. And then these guys rotate. So you can, like, burst at somebody. Burn. It's pretty cool, I don't know. And then this flame effect, less cool because there's not much of a transition, just yellow, orange. You know, most flames will just stay yellow for most of it until it gets out to the edges, but apparently they don't seem to understand that. Okay, so flamethrower is here. You can see how it's got some nodules there, and those are molded in. Trying to figure out the best way to do it this way. Yes, and they actually have the tip of that molded on the inside. So, well, you technically saw me do it. That's just the way it works. Pretty cool. Except it looks like it's coming out of the entire thing, not from a tip point. But you know, you can only do so much like that. Things like Mayfax and other companies make those kind of things work really well. Here, let me rotate that around there. And then you have the harpoon thing, which is stupid in and of itself. And the fact that this is just a thing that clips onto his wrist, incredibly loose. Like, that is just really stupid. Like, and I guess you want to have a scene where you have Luke all wrapped up, fine, but that's just really stupid. And what's really interesting is how much difference there really kind of is. Like, okay, so here's the rifle he's using at this point. They painted nothing, like no silver, no nothing. They just gave it this kind of bronze, I think I said copper, but bronze wash. And then you get this one, which is the cut in half version, which is interesting, but I don't think they needed to even add the peg there. I think it would have been fine just having it cut in half. Also, did this thing's detail just go away? Like, it just stopped being colorful to some degree? Also, 0 weapon storage at all. You just have to hold this garbage. So, that's fine. I'm going to hold on to this one for just a second. So, now we can... actually, let's do articulation just real quick. You know what? Articulation and comparison. So, here's the Archive Series one from, I guess it's supposed to be his first appearance in Empire. Yeah, you just fall over. It's fine. So, here we have his cloak. And I guess I never realized how much color change he goes through. Like, his clothes, different colors. So, this is gray. This is kind of sandy gray. The fact that his gauntlets completely change color from green to brown is weird. He loses some details on his helmet to a degree. Hold on. I don't know what the heck it's focused on. So you've got yellow here, red there. The ding is still in the same spot. It looks like they didn't bother painting the red back here, so it's just all silver. The weird lanyards that he's got going on there are mostly the same color, but they didn't paint it all the way around. Also, he loses his sidearm, and his belt is completely different. Like, absolutely different. And you can see under here, like I've got this pulled down quite a bit. I can probably show it up. So you've got this area that's red, and over here, it's kind of a dark brown. Almost like, you know, really dirty leather brown. Then you've got a diaper that's very different. The legs are similar, but at least mold-wise are different. So this is not even remotely the same mold. So this is the old body with the double knee peg joints. This is a new body with single knees and things like that. And very different elbow situation. So he's got a little bit different. So let's just compare. So he can't hold this gun worth a damn. So this is supposed to be this. Huge difference there. I mean, this looks more like the front end of the like one of the main like trooper guns. The scope is totally different. Mounted here to the barrel, mounted here to the center, you know. And basically, I never realized how much it just is like a flintlock or like a single shot revolver almost. You know, manifested a bit different. So you just lose all the details, and this just comes out boring. So, in my opinion, not as good. And then you have the backpack, which is startling. I mean, look at that. I mean, well, it's likely the same mold. Like, it's at least based on the same mold. Except these don't move and these do. Why the heck did the color change so damn much? And you got the missile here that actually does missile, and it actually has some nice shading there. You can see that. Look, once again, I said, it's like, look, they can do weathering or they can do chipping. They rarely do both. This is weathered, this is chipped, but neither of the two shall meet. This is not weathered at all, but it's chipped all to hell. This is chipped in incredibly different ways, plus it looks like something from a circus. Also, that it does mount very similarly, like it's supposed to be strapped to his back, which is cool. Another thing, so here's what his flamethrower used to look like, sort of. And then he's got the missile on the arm. All of those buttons or whatever he's supposed to be. It looks like a Imperial rank, realistically. And then you've got, like, the forearm. Incredibly different. He's even got more hoses than he used to mount to the bottom thingy down here. Once again, lost the pistol entirely. Lost the thing entirely. Lost the yellow off the helmet, which is interesting. I don't know why they did that. Might just be missing paint tabs. At least this one does rotate down, so that's a good thing. And as I pointed out before, or at least mentioned, look, there is a blank head sculpt inside there. So the question is, can we get the helmet off? Probably not. I'm sure somebody has. It's definitely a blank head of some sort. You can see ears. So, did they just go ahead and use like one of the other Boba Fett heads or one of the clone trooper heads, which would, 100% make sense, since that's what he should look like. Also, the fact that, this incredibly annoying cloth cape, while it looks nice with that, very simple, just off to the side here. And holes worn in it. I wish they'd given us some paint, though, or some dirt. Like, he's been on Tatooine for a while. Like, at least since he delivered Han. Look at it, the buckles aren't even painted on this one. So, I would honestly say I like the paint apps on this one a little bit better in some aspects. Also, by the way, not the same torso. This is a single ball joint. I believe this was a single ball joint as well. The neck this is a ball peg on a hinge. This is a double, so that's a ball joint, and then it goes down into a ball joint. This one actually has butterfly, I believe. Just a little stiff. Yeah, this one actually has movable butterflies. That's pretty cool. Mythosaur skull is a little bit different there. Single joint thing, but here's the weird part. This part of the elbow is also rotatable on its own, so you just got to watch that. And then, of course, you've got the rotation of the gauntlet. So bicep just above the elbow itself, the wrist gauntlet, and then the wrist. And the wrist is set up to hold a gun or something. I'm not entirely certain what he's meant to hold with that. This is definitely a gun holding hand for sure. Let's see. Gotta always check to see if he can actually hold the gun that he comes with. You never, ever know. But I do know that getting it past a thumb is always impossible. Come on. You know you want to hold your gun. You're like supposed to be all cool and bounty huntery and stuff. Oh, Boba Fett. I am Boba Fett. So stood my name. Though he can't, he can kind of hold it. It's entirely the wrong dimensions for him. That seems incredibly short-sighted. I mean, like, that's freaking pathetic. Like, look at this. Like, the finger is nowhere even gonna get near the trigger. Hold on, let me see if I can. There we go. Okay, so if you get the trigger finger out, then you're good. You're really good. Though the scale of the weapon changing so drastically is a bit much, in my opinion. And I guess because I'm the only one in the room, my opinion matters. So, like, and then they didn't give you, like, a round holding hand. They give you a square holding hand, so just got to do what you can with the weirdness that they've given you. You know, his leg guns are interesting in and of itself. I don't know. I do not know what to think about this, to be totally honest. Like, it's good, I guess, but the Archive series is really good. Like, in some ways, painted better. Like, because his, I'm trying to remember. Is this painted? It feels painted. And then there's a difference between the front of the pockets and the side of the pants. You can just see the difference. Look at the dirt. Look at the dirt weathering on there. So, once again, weathering, chipping. He's been on Tatooine for I don't know how long. And this one is supposed to have been, well, wherever he's supposed to have been for however long. But he's dirty. He's the way he should be. But it's like they just can't figure it out. Like, I know the Archive series is basically supposed to be bringing back an original figure, which is what they did. It is an older sculpt for sure. But then they bring out this anniversary edition, which is based off of more modern figures, and in a lot of ways, I can't even say it's the better one. Now, the articulation, probably better. Of course, if you want to consider the effects and the extra parts, which is what actually cranks up the price to $30 some odd, then I guess, I don't understand the weird gun feet either. I'm sure there's probably references here that I don't know. But unless you're going to put him with these parts, I would have said skip them. Like, release this one as a singular dude, like just as is. Give him the cut-off gun if you want, but give him a flight stand at least, something. Alright, so let's bring in other Mandos, just for the hell of it. So here's our last one. So he's definitely taller than the princess. And then we have Mando. Pretty sure that's what Mark said all the time. Okay, then we'll bring in Heavy. The heavy son of a bitch. And bring in Cersei, House Lannister. So he just gets all the chicks. So what's happening here? So once again, I need a full Beskar Din, and I need like Koska and the rest of the season 2 Mandalorians that we sort of get along the way. So that's pretty cool, although, what are you gonna do? Let's get a picture there. Hold on, I gotta close this window that just happens to be open on my phone. So is this worth it? If you didn't have the Archive series, yes. If you already have the Archive series, no. Nothing's really interchangeable. They change up the gun a lot. They change up the details a lot. They don't really balance between weathering or chipping. And half the accessories are only useful if you're setting up a scene. So, half of which was Luke Skywalker, getting the rifle cut in half, getting Luke's hand wrapped up by the harpoon, flamethrower, and then Luke wrapping up his hand with the same thing. That kind of stuff. So, take it if you want. He's not bad, but he's a little late to the party. Especially considering how much money they charge you for a figure that you're getting about a year after the previous version. That's already pretty good. So, but I will catch you guys on the next one. Go watch the rest of the Black Series reviews if you have not. And I know it's been a long time since I've got around to doing any of these. I'm sorry. It is what it is. And I'll see you next time. Remember, as always, keep on hurting.